Alright guys, we're back and we're heading to the basement. Whoa, lots of fun, tons of fun. In our last episode we discovered what happened to Marilyn and Marilyn's baby. The only thing that she's attached to right now is a lighter, and that's what's keeping her here, so we need to find it. I think Malcolm has a lot to answer for with the fact that they have murdered Teresa, which is the reason why Marilyn ended up extremely depressed, and I don't blame her. She was locked up in here and she thought when she had her baby she would prove to her parents that she wasn't actually mentally ill. She'd be able to get out of this place, but instead they covered it all up, they murdered the baby, and left her trapped in here, which is basically a prison. I mean, down here looks definitely like somewhere where you'd put a criminal. It is disgusting and terrible, and I believe actually that asylums did do this in the 1800s. And lots of weird experiments happen down in these places. It's really messed up. And some of the history you can find on some of these, you'd find to be true. Let's go into the hydrotherapy room. So Marilyn went through a lot of depression and she committed suicide. It was interesting. Can we find out about Jane in here? This room seems very cold for some reason. I don't know why it seems like a very cold room. It doesn't actually talk about Jane. So we can exit out of this. So Marilyn told us the code to the steam machinery here. There's lots of different ways of doing it. The tubs, the steam box. So we can actually... The second and third switch on the top to on. So we just turn these ones off and it should go. The second and the third. Seems... right.
It's all very confusing. I don't know what everything does.
I don't think anything really lights up. Just hit the second and the third switch, so... should work. Yep, it's working now. Awesome. Now if we open it, steam should come out. So... I think the idea was we were supposed to put something in here. I'm not too sure yet what it was. But there's that. Let's see if we can talk to Jane again. Janie.
Yes?
Okay, she hasn't got anything to tell us. Okay, let's talk to Malcolm then.
Yes, Oliver?
Oh, we can't actually question him for murdering the baby. Well, that's kind of messed up within itself.
Those were for wet towels.
Wet towels. Oh, we could put a wet towel in there at least. I'm going to go back up to the one room because I actually want to look up Jane. I want to find out, like, what was her problems. Can we work out another key if we do this? Because we can't get into any other room until we find out. So go upstairs. Well, technically upstairs. We'll push it to 1. Our first step is finding the lighter. It'll give us a step closer to everything. Can't believe it's been so long since I played this. It's unbelievable. Okay. We don't have Jane's last name, but we have Marilyn Wilson's last name. We don't really need to do much with Marilyn, I don't think. Oh boy, these books.
You never did enough reading as a child, Oliver. Not of the right sort, anyway.
Kids don't read certain books when they're young. Okay, can we find out if we put in Jane, can we get anything from it? Okay, so we need the last name of Jane, which we do not have. Okie dokies. We've got a few things here.
Not much good without a blade. How could anyone remember what all these keys go to?
Apparently one person did. They must have had, like, an extreme memory. They didn't have a memory like a sieve, that's for sure. Okie dokies. I'm not too sure how we get into the other room, or where we progress from here. I think actually, maybe Oliver already knows like a key here and there. We'll go back to the basement. Sometimes he says he doesn't have time to try all these keys, but then sometimes he does know what the key is, so it's just something you have to check, and I keep forgetting to check it. I think we can get... I don't think we can get into the morgue, which is odd. I think we can get into the... oh, the ECT room. What's on our right side here? I want to know what's in this room.
It's locked.
Oh, the fever therapy room. I don't want to go in that room
It's
just
locked.
yet. You have keys, Oliver. Use them. Unlock the door.
It's locked.
Don't want to unlock the door? Okay. We definitely can't get into this one just yet.
It's locked.
Yeah, and he doesn't know what the key is, I don't think.
It's locked.
I don't think he's gonna tell us. Yeah, he won't tell us. Okay. Oh, I want to talk to him.
Yes, Oliver?
No, no, it's not gonna tell me? Alright. We need to find out other rooms to get into.
It's locked.
The only way we can do that is working out what the keys are. We need the spirits to tell us. I don't think Jane really knows. She had therapy probably in other rooms other than this one. The fever room is really messed up. I don't know how to talk about the fever room. Examine tiles.
We scrub those walls every day, but you cannot scrub away the smell of fear.
Is there a smell of fear? I don't know if that's normal.
Yes?
Okay. We don't have any of that information. Let's have a look. Can we look inside this machine? Oh boy.
Must be some trick to it.
You can't imagine what it feels like to be locked up in there. It's dark, it's hot, and you can't get out.
Okay.
We
I don't want to examine the tiles again. I thought I was looking at that box. Is there fuses in here? I feel like there could be fuses in here. Can we open anything here? I feel like there could be a fuse that I could use.
It's all very
I don't need that. For some reason I had a feeling I could open these and I could get a fuse. At least I thought I could. Maybe not just yet. Okay, there's clearly nothing down here. This room's probably the most dead-end room there is.
They seem really solid.
Like everything in this place. Why are there stains where the bricks are? What were they doing down here? It's pretty messed up. I don't think we can get into the men's wing. I think the men's wing is one area we can't get into. This is such an odd looking area. God. We don't have to necessarily come here to talk to him. I don't think there's much else to explore. Go over here. I don't think there's anything in the kitchen. Oh wait, no, I remember now. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I remember. I remember what it is I'm supposed to do. I remember why we turned on the steam box now. I was getting ahead of myself a little bit too much, thinking, okay, well, I need to do this now, I need to do that now. No, you can't. This game is very linear. You cannot progress unless you do certain things in a certain order. I know what it is I have to do now. I'm sitting here like thinking to myself, I'm like, oh wait, I know what I missed. We need to go back down to the basement. I just wasted like 5 minutes of your time. I could have just like skipped to that. Realization, it's amazing, isn't it? You've had to listen to me prattle and walk around in circles, and someone's gonna give me a thumbs down for that. I'm waiting for the thumbs down. Okay. I have that one person that goes around thumbs downing everything. I think I know who it is too. Mr. Thumbs Down. Who hates me and hates everything in life in general, and... Okay. Open Steam box. And put the diary inside the Steam box. We'll close the Steam box. We'll turn on the Steam box. You guys are probably working out what I'm doing now. We can now finally read the page.
I think there are monsters down here.
Freddy will scare away the monsters, Josh. Just like he always does. He's a good watchdog.
Yeah. Turn it off. Open Steam box up. I feel like I need to read these pages now because they actually are vital. Okay, what 2 pages were there? We have to start from the beginning. And this is where we get to read the next page. Metcalf took me down to the furnace room. Okay, so this is what's going to tell us that one key, the furnace room, I think. Okay, so this is where we talked about the difference between fantasy and reality. And then he threw the book right into the furnace. I couldn't believe. So that is horrible. We now know how to get into the furnace room, I believe. Or we need to talk to Marilyn first, I think. Not too sure about that one. Or do we, can we talk to Jane?
Yes?
No. Okay, let's see if we can get into the furnace room now. I can't believe I totally forgot that. We wouldn't have even been able to progress. I think the furnace room is... this one? There's something we're missing though. I think I'm missing something. Something I need. I think I had to go back down to the kitchen. Possibly.
Can I help you, lad?
Oh.
What are you doing here?
I'm just an old Irishman who left home looking for a better life. It's true I didn't starve, but I'm not sure I found what I was looking for.
What do you think of it?
'Tis a hard place, lad. And there's not much difference between the people inside and the ones outside who are walking around breathing God's fresh air. And if I were one of those people, free and easy and doing what I pleased, 'twould scare me senseless to know that.
Who keeps things running?
Oh, the new lad. The one they have here now. He's doing fine. They'll not be missing old Seamus O'Rourke.
Why don't you leave?
One day they'll come in and replace all this old machinery. Then it'll be time for me to move on.
So he's attached to the machinery here. Okay, so the furnace. Woo.
It's bolted shut.
I bet it is. There, I don't think we can actually open it. It's red hot. We can actually hear the furnace. There are a few items we need to find.
Don't go poking your nose where it doesn't belong. There's nothing in there that concerns you.
There might be something that I need around here, though. There's 2 items I know I specifically need. I think I got the tongs. Did I get the tongs? I know I picked up the tongs. The tongs aren't here. I forgot the tongs. Okay. Definitely need the tongs. Okay, we don't need to look at those. And over there...
Nasty business. That water is causing no end of mischief.
what is going on here? I am concerned about the whole lot of that. I know we can use the towel for that later on. I need the tongs, but there's... Oh, I know what I thought I got that. I thought I got that too. We have to go back down to the kitchen. Please tell me that in my first video I definitely picked up the tongs and I definitely picked up the wrench, because I know I did those. At least I think I did those. Somehow this game is cheating on me. It's cheating on me badly. It might not have just remembered that I didn't save properly, maybe. I don't know. Something weird happened. I need to get the tongs and I need to get the wrench. Which is odd, because I thought I got those. I'm gonna go back through my first video after this and actually look at it, because I know I got those. I would not have forgot those items. So, I didn't run around too pointlessly. At least. Because those are two items we definitely need to open the furnace. And I believe I will have to save. I'll have to definitely make a save point. Oh no, actually no, I don't think I'll need to make a save point. I think I should be okay. I think we'll be alright to go on a little longer than that. It's odd, because I have both my saves here that I've done. No, I definitely got that. I know I got those. I have the hacksaw. How come I don't have those? That's really odd. This game's being deceptive. Like much about it. I'm not saying it's not normal. Okay. So, in my first episode, I'm sure I spoke about this area and the lobsters, because I know that he mentioned lobsters were plentiful. And I know that I was going to pick up these tongs. I don't know why I don't have them. It's weird. I know I mentioned this because he said lobsters were plentiful, and I said that that's weird because lobsters are worth a fortune now. Did I sharpen this? Yep, this has been sharpened, so that was odd. Let's open the latch. And voila! We need the wrench. No wonder I have been walking around confused, because I was like, I don't have these items, I must have done it. No, no. No, it's not the case at all. I must look like a chicken with its head cut off. Probably not the appropriate term to use in this particular area. I wanted to walk across the floor, but apparently I wasn't allowed to walk in a straight line. How very peculiar. So once we, like I said, now we know that room, we can actually progress. I don't like you. I never liked you. You're a horrible looking person. You sound evil. I mean, it's already established when you walk in who the bad guy is, so it's not like it's any spoiler that he's a bad guy. He's kidnapped your kid, he's possessed you to kill people, or to give items to people that made them go crazy. Very peculiar man. Okay. I just needed to take a little bit of a sip to clear my throat a little bit. Okay, we'll go back into this room. We'll use the wrench. Open the door, and there is the lighter. I don't know how it hasn't melted, honestly. I'm just doing this for a good reason. I don't want to burn my hands off when doing this. And what? We got it! It's not too hot.
Perhaps you were never aware, Oliver, that some items carry evil within themselves. Merely picking up that dragon lighter, for example, has caused you to fall under its fiery spell. Marilyn Wilson burned herself to death with it. Martha Ward used it to burn her house down. Even now, it is propelling you towards some unknown but no doubt searing fate. I wonder, Oliver, will you be able to take the heat?
Okay, so again, he has possessed us. Woo! Flick lighter. We can now see. Okay, let's have a bit of a look here. There's the thermometer. We use the lighter on the thermometer. We'll trick it to thinking it's hotter than it is, and it will open. We are free. Woo! We didn't actually commit suicide after all.
Very clever, Oliver. Well done.
And we'll flick the lighter off again now. And you tried to murder me! And Jane, I suppose she didn't say anything. I think she can actually talk in that one area, but I was too busy trying to get out, because if you stay in there too long, you will actually die.
Yes?
Yeah, she didn't say anything. So, again, it was referring to the books. When he was talking, he was referring it to the books and who, they died. Apparently, this item is also mentioned, I think, in the third book. It's called the Dragon's Flame. And someone dies because of a fire. The house catches on fire. And he's saying that this holds evil in it, but the real evil is him, and now I'm going to talk to him.
Yes, Oliver?
Apparently, I can't talk to him. There was nothing wrong with me. He possessed me and to go inside the chamber and try to murder me. He's a lovely father. So loving and caring and cherishing. Doesn't anyone want to have a father like this? I don't know how I feel. We've been murdered and we're only in the third video. Well, we're nearly murdered. Tried to kill us. Okay. We'll give her lighter back. There's so much satisfactory in bringing some sort of happiness. In this game, at least. We'll open the case. And I'll put this here.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Joshua is being held there. Can you help me find it?
I'm afraid I don't know too much about the asylum layout. I was only here a short time before I died. But the women down the hall might be able to help you, if you can get them to make sense. They're a little crazy. The key to the corridor door had a big W stamped on it. It's sure to be on your keyring, so you should be able to open it right up.
So now we know how to get into another area, so we'll close the case. We can now go next door into the other area and talk to the other women. She says they're crazy. I mean, they're a little peculiar, to say the least. But they still talk enough sense to get us out of here. So unlock the door.
That key opens it right up.
And now we can go in. This lady's completely mad. But she's useful. She's very helpful. Again, she'll give us another a lot of information.
Are there bad guys here, Dad?
Nope, no bad guys.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, Josh.
You there. You're new. Did you bring my knitting needles?
I'm afraid not.
Well then, be off with you.
Okay, she wants knitting needles.
Yes?
I don't believe we've been introduced.
Such impertinence in a servant. I shall have Sir George reprimand you.
Who's he?
He is my host, if you can call it that.
What would you do with them?
A servant does not question the commands of a queen. Fetch them, please. You are dismissed.
Don't think she'll talk to us until we give them to her. I think that's what the skewers are for. She can use them like knitting needles.
Miss Willoughby was an accomplished seamstress, embroiderer, and weaver, as witnessed by the beautiful tapestries around the wall and the exquisite handkerchief you see here.
Okay, she's missing a handkerchief, so we need to bring the handkerchief back.
This is the room of Lavinia Willoughby, whom the staff called Vi. She was severely delusional and believed she was Mary, Queen of Scots. Her family indulged her in this delusion and paid for the special furnishings you see here.
Okay, so she thinks she was Mary, Queen of Scots. I mean, no harm came from that. So we can actually look up her name. I think, if anyone knows how to spell it. This is why I say a notebook comes in handy. So it talks about split personalities. This is when split personality was probably introduced, when it was a thing. She was paranoid, catatonic, and disorganized. Delusional disorders, model personality disorder, and Mary, Queen of Scots. And she was one of the most romantic figures in history. She was crowned Queen of Scotland before her first birthday. At the age of 15, she married the King of France, who returned to Scotland after he died 2 years later. So there's a bit of history also involved for this, so that's also really interesting. I think we need to bring her knitting needles. She's delusional, so she's not going to really know that the skewers are knitting needles, and I don't think she'll talk to us until we bring them to her. It's a lovely room. This room is exquisite. And they really did indulge her quite a bit into thinking she was a queen. Now, where do I stick her knitting needles? There's a few things involved here.
I have enough yarn, thank you. If I require more, I shall inform you. Tomorrow, you should give it a good washing. You know very well it cannot be opened.
Okay.
At last, at last. You are more than a servant, you are a friend. Thank you for providing me the only implements by which my imprisonment becomes tolerable.
Okay, now she's going to talk to us a little bit more and call us a friend.
Why do you call him your host?
George Talbot, the Earl of Shrewsbury. This is his castle. He has been commissioned by my cousin, Queen Elizabeth, to detain me. Little does she know that he brings dishonor upon both our royal houses.
Okay, so again, history's involved with this, but she's saying that Malcolm is Sir George. So there's a bit of history, but it's also a bit of delusion going on here. Just to straighten it out for everybody.
What does he do?
He tortures me. He takes me to the dungeon and uses a key with a skull pattern on it to open a small room. There he forces foul emetics and purgatives down my throat. Sometimes he bleeds me until I am dizzy and become faint.
What does he hope to gain?
He wishes me to confess to conspiracies against my dear cousin. When I refuse to do so, he opens a special casket he sometimes has with him. Inside are vials filled with poisons that give me fevers and chills.
So we've now worked out another key, and she's talking about the fever room, which is the next room we're going to go into, which is, I'm going to warn everyone, pretty dark and disturbing. I did not even know that, well, I did know about these rooms, but I didn't realise that they existed in 1890. So it's, yeah, pretty messed up.
Have you told anyone else about this?
Only Lorena, the prisoner next door. She's very difficult to talk to, but she knows more than she's willing to say. She is heavily guarded, but the key to her part of the prison has the number 26 engraved on it.
So we now know another key, so we can now talk to another spirit in here and probably find out another key along with that.
Is there anything I can do to help?
It is all a horrible misunderstanding. My cousin thinks I plot with the King of Spain against her. If only I could write to her and send a token of my affection, she would realize how wrong she is.
Can't you get her a message?
To do so, I need a pen and some ink, both of which are currently denied me.
It sounds as if you have something particular in mind.
I have embroidered a special handkerchief for her. It is the finest craftsmanship, and it has the letter R worked into the corner.
So this is how we know that handkerchief is the handkerchief that we need to actually gain and put into the room.
And now you can't find it?
Alas, Sir George has stolen it from me. I suspect he has hidden it within his casket of poisons. But where that may be, I have no idea.
Elizabeth doesn't begin with R?
I forget you are a servant, unschooled in Latin. R is for Regina, which means queen.
I must find him before dawn.
Just as you aid me, so shall I aid you.
So we're getting help from spirits. Again, history and information on words. We can bring her a pen and we can bring her ink.
Without ink, I cannot write my cousin.
So we can do that too. Let's go down the hall just briefly, and I think that may almost be the end of our video anyway. I was going to end it here, but we can now speak to another spirit, and since it's in this vicinity, I think we'll do this first, and then maybe in the next video we'll go down and we'll check out the basement. We now know how to get into the fever room. Again, warning. I think I mentioned this game is pretty morbid and dark. Okay, so she's next door over here. We can go into this room. Oopsie. I keep forgetting that the arrow needs to be like that. Okay, so what's with this room?
Freddy's tired, Dad.
Maybe he can take a nap, Josh. It's way past his bedtime.
He told me he's too scared to sleep. I'm scared too.
I know, Josh, but everything will be okay. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Are you one of Malcolm's spies? Go away. Who are you? What do you want?
Okay.
I'm a friend.
I don't believe you. Everyone here works for Malcolm.
He is an evil man.
Very clever. That's just what one of his spies would say.
What can I do to convince you?
Very well. I shall give you a chance. Malcolm has stolen many things from me. He keeps most of them hidden away, and some he has given to others. But one of them he keeps on display, knowing the pain it causes me. Bring me that item, and I will know you are not in league with him.
Okay, she doesn't tell us what this item is. I, however, know what this item is. There's a few things to work this out. First off, you need to look at this hutch.
It's black lacquer on walnut. Quite attractive. But it shows every speck of dust.
Unfortunately, it's with black. We have to note this area here and the way it looks. Remember how I said earlier that there was something, the nice china tea set that Malcolm had just didn't really match in with the teapot he had? Yeah, there's that. And we can also, in order to work out this puzzle, we need to touch on this screen, which will tell her her name. They called her Lorena, but if you read through, she's got paranoia and unreasoning fear that people were plotting against her. But that wasn't actually the truth. You know what? People actually were plotting against her. Again, these are all lies and fabrication. So it tells you about the illness, being paranoid on here. Now if you look up the name Lorena down the computer, it will tell you also her real name, which is, actually no, we'll go do that actually. So she was suffering from delusional jealousy. That's what they say, that their spouse is having sexual relations with someone else, which was probably actually the truth. And he locked her up in here because she was related to him. The ECT room, so she'll give us information about the ECT room as well. So there we go, there's some information there. I think, however, we'll stop this video here and we'll continue on next time, which will talk about the items and how to solve this puzzle in here. And continue on. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm pretty tired. But I'll see you guys next time.